Crypto data set, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly address Ethereum. Ethereum has officially crossed 3,000 US dollars, and it is starting to pick up a little bit of traction once again. But before we talk about the narrative that is compelling Ethereum to perform well this upcoming bull run, this bull run that we've almost started, I want to take us back down memory lane and discuss the last two bull runs and what were the narratives that empowered Ethereum's price performance. In 2017, 2018, we saw the trend or the narrative of ETH being the Bitcoin killer. So everything was built around the premise of, hey, there's something new in the market and people can build upon this at a cheaper cost than Bitcoin, even though gas fees were a little bit more expensive than what we intended them to be or what we wanted them to be. And it wasn't as scalable as we thought it would be. People still push the narrative of Ethereum becoming the Bitcoin killer. That's why we saw prices go from $7,500 all the way up to $1,500 before it crashed down to $90 during the bear market. In the 2020, 2021 bull run, the narrative was a little bit of a different one. It was the fact that now we had more comprehensive and robust ecosystems being built upon the EVM or the Ethereum virtual machine, such as NFT ecosystems, DeFi lending platforms, and we saw more teams get involved and build upon this. Now, where's the narrative for Ethereum this upcoming bull run? Well, the narrative is institutional adoption. We saw that BlackRock has submitted their application for an Ethereum ETF, right? And the reason this is important is because if you look at BlackRock's track record when it comes to ETFs, which is one of their main vehicles for making money and being able to draw investors, traditional investors, into their ecosystem, they rarely lose. They got their Bitcoin ETF approved, which most likely means their Ethereum ETF will get approved as well. We see usually upon the submission of ETFs and the hype being built up that there is a massive run. So I expect Ethereum to hit all-time highs once again, whether it's because Bitcoin kind of continues on its trajectory upwards up until the Bitcoin halving, potentially crashing after the Bitcoin halving. So we could hit all-time highs then. But I think that once Ethereum has its own narrative construction around institutional adoption and around the ETF being approved, I think we see the markets do extremely well. Now, the issue that we have is that what Ethereum was initially supposed to do, which was create an ecosystem for transactions and create this decentralized space, has kind of become corrupted. Most of Ethereum servers are hosted on JP Morgan servers, so it's kind of centralized. And we have a lot of what we call the Ethereum cartel just milking the fuck out of this ecosystem and this chain, because mind you, Ethereum is a for-profit project. It wasn't just created out of the whims of, hey, let's just build something for people. There's a lot of money being extracted out of here. So there's no real intention in making gas fees absolutely cheaper, because there's other chains that do that better. So we saw the resurgence of Solana, AVAX, and a couple other chains that are now beginning to pull liquidity and take that narrative of, hey, this is the cheapest place to transact. However, I do think that there is space to grow and there's space for narratives and trends to evolve. But I like to focus on the more obvious plays. And the most obvious play is the Ethereum ETF. Once that starts brewing and that becomes the topic of conversation, and it will, check mark this and just cross-reference it just so you can realize that I know what I'm talking about, the price will continue to skyrocket. It'll probably do the same thing that Bitcoin ETF did up until their Bitcoin ETF, then when you had a dump, and so on and so forth. Now, the reason I mention this is because I need you guys to be paying attention as to the news and narratives that are constructed specifically around this event. So as you begin to see more applicants file for Ethereum ETFs because they realize that their Bitcoin ETF is quite lucrative and a popular product that people are looking for, then you can begin to make your plays accordingly. So this data set is a very simple one. Pay attention not only to the charts and what people are saying, but also what are institutions doing. because institutions are going to be a massive factor for driving the necessary liquidity and volume for these larger market cap projects to continue growing. So if Bitcoin can go from 28,000 from the moment this narrative of ETF gets constructed all the way to 50,000+, and we see Ethereum right now sitting at $3,000, there's a compelling conversation that it could hit all-time highs simply because of this narrative. So take this into consideration as you look at the charts, as you begin to plan your allocations. No financial advice, as you guys know it, but it's something that I've been looking at. And as you guys know, BlackRock doesn't really lose. So take this into consideration. Have a wonderful day. Look at the charts every single day, and don't let the bull run pass you. This bull run won't come back. You got to be able to take advantage of the opportunity because it could change your life. I'll see you guys very soon.